A major change in U.S.-Mexico trade tariffs is set to take effect on Monday, August 1st. Importers and exporters in Texas are bracing for a potential economic jolt. President Trump's administration has threatened to increase tariffs to 30% unless new deals are made. Previously, up to 90% of Mexican goods had been exempt from tariffs. Trump's letter to President Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo makes no mention of extending the current exemptions. Business leaders fear a return to the instability seen earlier this year. A potential 30% tariff is being called a game changer by industry leaders. Much of Texas's produce imports are directly tied to trade with Mexico. The uncertainty threatens to undermine the USMCA trade agreement. Texas traded $281 billion with Mexico in 2024, 400 Texas produce companies at risk. Farms in both countries rely on each other to supply year-round produce. Sunfed, a major importer, deals with a range of fresh produce from Mexico. $13 billion worth of produce flows through Texas annually. Sunfed acts as the importer on record, paying U.S. tariffs. Shoppers may face shortages if imports become unviable. The cost of tariffs is likely to be spread across the entire supply chain. While prices may not spike immediately, long-term effects are expected. Companies are already preparing for tariff impacts. The tariff threat is straining the critical agricultural ties between the two nations. A 50% tariff on aluminum and steel has been in place since June. The Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas reports rising manufacturing costs. A 50% tariff on copper is expected to begin on August 1st. Tariffs are directly impacting the input costs for Texas manufacturers. The rising costs could force some factories to cut back or pause operations. Many small and medium businesses may not withstand the higher tariffs. Economist Ed Hers warns of a devastating effect on U.S.-Mexico trade. Import duties are already pushing up costs across sectors. Some industries are already voicing concern over economic fallout. Customs and tariff enforcement has intensified at border points. Some Texas Republicans support the tariffs as leverage in negotiations. Trump argues the pressure is working to bring Mexico to the table. Talks are ongoing, but no new trade deal has been finalized. Not everyone agrees that tariffs are the answer. The trade war is once again a heated topic in Washington. Texas leaders are divided over whether tariffs help or harm. Glenn Hamer says Texas's strong economy may help weather the storm. Texas is the 8th largest economy globally. Governor Abbott's office sees this as a chance to reset global supply chains. Texas continues to attract international businesses despite trade tensions. The current tension is testing the strength of the USMCA. The U.S., Mexico, and Canada depend on seamless trade flow. Disruptions could quickly show up on American store shelves. Many products are jointly built between the U.S. and Mexico. Canada says it won't rush into a new deal just to avoid tariffs. Mexico remains optimistic that an agreement can still be reached. Economic instability affects both sides of the border. Any increase in tariffs could worsen border processing times. The trilateral relationship is under serious strain again. Businesses are looking at contingency plans in case talks fail. Uncertainty is hardest on small and medium-sized businesses. Lessons from COVID-era disruptions still haunt trade operators. Experts warn that broken supply chains don't easily recover. Companies are holding back on imports to avoid potential losses. Supply chain planning is now a high-stress, high-risk operation. Communication between customs and companies has intensified. Even short-term tariff shocks can lead to long-term damage. Delays caused by March tariffs were a painful preview. Time-sensitive goods like produce are especially vulnerable. Some companies are delaying shipments until the situation clears. The business community is watching every minute until August 1st. Trade ties are deep, but the current situation is fragile. Financial markets are sensitive to any trade news. President Sheinbaum believes a deal can still be made. Canada is cautious, refusing to sign any deal at any cost. Everyone from farmers to CEOs is impacted by tariff uncertainty. No one knows exactly what Monday will bring. The lack of clarity is hurting confidence and growth planning. Monday's deadline looms with no confirmed resolution. Through it all, Texas business remains hopeful but alert.